Newspaper FM Hot 965. This is the Rashi Report. And we're discussing this evening about the shutdown and how it is affecting us. How is it affecting America? How is it affecting everybody worldwide? Dictatorships. I'm here this evening on the Rashi Report with Monique McNeil. Monique, hi. How are you?
I'm well.
How do you feel? We was discussing a little bit before we came back from break about dictatorship. Do you feel that's what's happening right now?
Absolutely. I believe that this man, I'm not going to call him my president, he is on a dictatorship kick, just like his buddy old pal from Russia. And this is exactly what they do in a dictated country is those leaders would starve their own people and gas them and take away all liberties of life from them. And that's what I feel.
Isn't it true that he had multiple meetings with Putin, right? Aren't they friends? You know, saying, I mean, I believe that he's like taking the light off of Russia, shutting down the government, and Russia's in his ear, and they're telling him. I'm quite sure him and Russia, they're doing something together. And I'm quite sure they're probably behind this. They probably told him, this is what you should do, how we do with our people over here. I bet you he has a place over there. I bet you he has a home over there. I'm quite sure he got something going on with Putin.
My point is that the American people just need to stand up and we need to come together and just get this guy out of there. We cannot allow someone to use us, the American people, as pawns for his temper tantrum to fund some wall. You cannot shut down our government, and you cannot silence us all Americans. He's literally single-handedly stopping the free exchange and flow of our government, stopping basically our life's essentials, and it's just unacceptable. The American people need to stand up and get this together. We need to get him out of there.
But they put him in power. So these folks that voted for him, don't they understand that? Do they think they're not going to feel this? I'm quite sure their mothers or grandmothers or grandfathers, someone's on Social Security. I'm quite sure someone's working a state job or federal job. I mean, how do you feel about that? I'm quite sure somebody in their families that voted for him is feeling it right now. What about the income tax?
It's disgusting because it even goes beyond that. I mean, I'm sure those who voted for him wasn't thinking that this was going to actually happen to them because typically Republicans aren't poor or black or unprivileged. But unfortunately, the government shutdown is affecting those who are fighting over it out of the country, and it's affecting those who rely on those services such as the VA, such as those who need medical supplies or medical care through the federal government. And I really don't believe those who voted for him thought that it would be like this or thought that they were touchable.
So I heard that this is affecting Section 8, people that's on Section 8 worldwide. This is affecting people that are getting that's getting food stamps. This is affecting people who work for TSA. This is affecting everybody. Like how child care. How is this? What do we do as a people? How do we get him out of there?
Well, it's going to definitely take the Congress and basically the House and the Senate to come together. I think we have more fighting chance now because the balance of power was shifted back in November when we had our elections and a new batch of Democrats filled the seats and voted out some Republicans, which helped us tremendously. But it's going to take Republicans and Democrats to come together and do what's in the best interest of the American people to actually put aside, the bipartisan bullshit and work together as a person, because out of many, we are one. We are all Americans, and we all need to stand up for rationality and humility.
I mean, well put. Now what's going to happen between now and February? Because the word is that people who are getting food stamps for their families, people who are not fortunate to be able to actually go out to work. You know what I mean? Um, their February funds are going to be coming on their January, I guess the 19th. That's what we're hearing. Um, what happens after this? Because I know there's supposed to be reserves, but the reserves are from my understanding are are exhausted. Would be exhausted in February.
Absolutely.
How do we change this? Like, what's going to happen to America?
Well, like I said, it's going to take us all coming together as a people to really, say we're not going to deal with this crazy psychoticness, and really just stand up for what is right. The problem is Republicans need to decide and vote on a side of rationality. This is unrational, it's unconstitutional, and it's inhumane to deny people, innocent people, working people, of their rights to live with liberty and happiness. It's just unconstitutional to do that, especially those federal workers who are actually working without pay. He is going to exhaust those monies. It's not like, okay, well, you worked for 5 months, we're going to pay you the 5 months that you worked once the government reopens. From what my understanding is that they're never going to receive the money that's owed to them. That those monies are going to be actually used to fund this wall.
So he's really going to take their hard-earned money, fund the wall.
That's how he's going to fund the
Why?
wall.
So he's going to fund the wall by their money. Now, the Mexicans. I mean, why do we need a wall? We ain't had no wall before. So why do we need a wall now?
We don't need a wall, and actually it's a crock of shit is exactly what it is, because the Mexicans and immigrants who come here to this country to live and seek the American dream actually are one of the hardest working individuals within this country. They actually add to the economy. Being a graduate student, I've studied these statistics several different times. I've looked at it analytically. I've looked at it even from a economic standpoint. And the facts are that they actually contribute to our economy. They work as maids. They work in restaurants. They build homes, and they're hardworking people. And to use this as, oh, they bring in the drugs, and it's a smoke screen, and it's a crock of shit.
Well, Monique McNeil, I appreciate you giving your input tonight, right here on the Rashid Report. I hope the government reopens in time. I hope everything gets resolved in time. But right now, America is definitely in trouble right now. They're definitely in trouble. They're definitely in trouble. All the people with loans and everything that's out there. So they're definitely in trouble. But Monique, we thank you for being a guest on our show this evening and giving your input.
I appreciate your time. I appreciate you for having me. And we need to have more conversations such as this to bring awareness and to inform people, the American people. And I'm speaking to all of you, Republicans, Independents, Democratic. I'm talking to the people, the American people out there. We need to stand up and we need to do what's right for us is what we need to do.
You heard it here on the Rashid Report, coming straight out of Monique McNeil's mouth. It's a wrap. I will holler at you all. We'll be back tomorrow. It's your boy, the heavyweight teacher Rashid, right here. The Rashid Report.